Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're going to be going to one of those places that is really common, right?
That's right. We're going to the hair salon.
The hair salon, or maybe also called a barber shop.
I guess in this case, it's a barber shop because it's a man who's getting his haircut.
Okay, so before we see what happens in this barber shop, let's take a look at some of the vocabulary we might encounter in Vocabulary Preview.
Vocabulary Preview.
Okay, we're going to look at two words that you'll hear in this dialogue. And the first one is trim.
Trim.
A trim.
All right, so when you trim something.
You cut just a little bit of it.
All right, so if I go to the hair salon to get a trim,
you are going to cut only a little bit of your hair.
Okay.
You're not going to change the style and make it look different.
Okay, so a trim.
Mm-hmm. And I think here we've seen that it can be a verb and a noun, right?
Okay, so I'm going to get a trim?
Yes.
Or I want you to trim my hair.
That's right.
All right. And what about our next word?
Fancy.
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 So, fancy. Now, we know that this word maybe is related to something like luxury.
Or formal or something like that.
Right. But in this case, or in this context, we're going to be using it a little bit different.
That's right. Here in this dialogue, we'll hear nothing too fancy.
Or nothing too complicated.
Nothing too different.
Okay. So we don't want anything too fancy.
All right, but with these two words in mind, I think we're ready to listen to the dialogue.
Hello there. Come on in. Don't just stand there. Come and take a seat.
Okay. Well, I just want to trim, nothing too fancy.
Oh my gosh, your hair is amazing. So silky, so shiny. I am gonna work my magic on your hair. You hear me? You are gonna look like $1,000,000.
Okay. Can you make sure my sideburns are even and you just take a little off the top?
Don't you worry, I'll take care of everything. Oh my God, I just love your curly hair. It's so fluffy and cute. You should totally let it grow out. An afro would look great on you.
No.
Okay, but you are going to be my masterpiece.
Okay, so I think maybe his haircut is not quite what he expected.
I think he trusted the stylist a little bit too much.
I think the stylist had too many Red Bulls or something. He was very hyper.
Maybe that was his problem.
All right, so why don't we take a look now at some of the language that we saw in Language Takeaway.
Language Takeaway.
So I guess the stylist really thought this guy had nice hair, right?
Yeah, we heard how he described his hair.
He said it was so silky.
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 All right, so we know the word silk, a material, very soft and smooth material.
Yeah. And when something is silky, it's very soft and smooth.
All right, so silky hair.
Or silky skin.
All right, so silky. So he said he had silky and shiny hair.
Shiny.
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 All right, so we know what shiny is.
Do we?
Yes, we do.
Okay, what?
So something that is shiny is you can see yourself in it, like gold is shiny.
Or silver is shiny.
All right. Or if you look in the back of a CD, it's shiny.
Yeah, so the light bounces off things that are shiny.
All right. Now, getting into more hairstyle vocabulary, he wanted to make sure that his sideburns were even.
Sideburns.
All right, so sideburns.
All right, well, sideburns are things that men have, right?
All right, women don't have sideburns.
No.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a beard. And it's the hair that grows on your cheeks near your ears.
Okay, those are your sideburns.
Yes.
And now also, the hairstylist suggested that he should let his hair grow out.
Grow out.
Grow out.
Let your hair grow out.
All right, so what does that mean exactly?
Let your hair get longer.
So you can say let your hair grow.
Yep.
But I guess it's more common to hear let your hair grow out.
Well, maybe it just means something a little bit different. If I
All right.
let my hair grow, I might let it grow a little bit. Might get a little bit longer. But if I let my hair grow out, maybe it's short now and I'll let it get really long.
Okay.
So to let your hair grow out is to really change the length.
All right. Very good. So let your hair grow out. And our last word on language takeaway today, afro.
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 So if this guy let his curly hair grow out, he would have an afro.
An afro, right? So now this hairstyle was very popular in the 70s.
That's right. It's like a big, round, curly, fluffy ball of hair.
Exactly. So that's in afro.
We'll post some pictures on the website for you to get a clear idea of what this looks like.
All right. So I think now we are ready to listen to our dialogue for the second time, and then we'll come back and look at some phrases.
Hello there. Come on in. Don't just stand there. Come and take a seat.
Okay. Well, I just want a trim. Nothing too fancy.
Oh my gosh. Your hair is amazing. So silky, so shiny. I am going to work my magic on your hair. You hear me? You are going to look like $1,000,000.
Okay. Can you make sure my sideburns are even and you just take a little off the top?
Don't you worry. I'll take care of everything. Oh my God. I just love your curly hair. It's so fluffy and cute. You should totally let it grow out. An afro would look great on you.
No.
Okay, but you're going to be my masterpiece.
Okay, so we have some phrases here that you might hear in a hair salon or in a barber shop. So why don't we look at those now in Fluency Builder?
Fluency builder.
The hairstylist said, don't just stand there.
Don't just stand there.
All right. Don't just stand there.
So this is an interesting phrase, Marco. I mean, it's made up of really simple words, right?
Right. But actually, those words make it in order that's a little bit different.
So why don't we hear a few examples to help us understand how to use this phrase?
Example 1.
Don't just stand there. Help me take these boxes into the house.
Example 2. The house is on fire! Don't just stand there! Call the fire department! Example 3.
Don't just stand there in the rain. Come inside.
Okay, so basically we can understand that if somebody tells you don't just stand there, they are expecting you to do something.
We might use this phrase when somebody is not doing what we think they should do.
Okay, when action is required.
Exactly.
Okay, so why don't we move on to our next phrase now?
Look like $1,000,000.
You look like $1,000,000.
So when someone looks like $1,000,000, they look,
Really, really good.
yeah.
So that is a very common way of just saying you look very good. Or something looks like $1,000,000.
So it can be for a person or a thing, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And our final phrase, and this one is really common in barber shops. Take a little off the top.
Take a little off the top.
Take a little off the top.
So that basically means cut a little bit on top.
Exactly.
And now, can I say take a little off the sides?
Yeah, you can say that as well.
All right, so take a little off the top, take a little off the sides.
Okay, so with all this great hair cutting language, why don't we listen to our dialogue one last time?
Hello there. Come on in. Don't just stand there. Come and take a seat.
Okay. Well, I just want a trim, nothing too fancy.
Oh my gosh. Your hair is amazing. So silky. So shiny. I am gonna work my magic on your hair. You hear me? You are gonna look like $1,000,000.
Okay. Can you make sure my sideburns are even and you just take a little off the top?
Don't you worry. I'll take care of everything. Oh my God. I just love your curly hair. It's so fluffy and cute. You should totally let it grow out. An afro would look great on you.
No.
Okay, but you are going to be my masterpiece.
All right, so now talking about hairstyles and different types of hair, there are some interesting ones that maybe aren't so fashionable anymore, right?
Yeah. Actually, English has a lot of really cool words to describe haircuts.
So let's start with a couple of them. For example, a mullet.
A mullet. So this is when your hair is really short on top and really long in the back.
Right, so the sides and the top part are really short, but in the back you have long hair.
Yeah. In Canada, we call that a shorty long back.
Shorty, long back.
Yeah. We also call it hockey hair.
Hockey hair.
Or even all business up front, all party behind.
Well, Canadians are obviously very into this hairstyle.
It's unfortunately true.
All right, we also have, for example, a mohawk.
Popular amongst the punk rock kids.
Exactly. So you shave your head on the sides.
Yeah.
But you leave a little like stripe of long hair on top.
Sticking up long hair.
Okay, and that's a mohawk. Mm-hmm. What about a flat top?
Oh, popular with law enforcement agents and serial killers.
So basically, it's short hair on the sides.
And short and flat hair on the top.
Right, so
Kind
your
of looks
hair...
like a box.
Right, it's flat on top.
Kind of like your haircut.
I do not have a flat top for all of you out there. But I did used to have a crew cut.
Oh, crew cut.
A crew cut.
Yeah, like an army haircut.
Right, so very short on the sides and a little bit long on top.
Yeah. Okay, and our last one, my actual personal least favorite haircut.
Dreadlocks.
Dreadlocks.
All right, so dreadlocks are like knots of hair, right?
Yeah. It looks like you haven't washed your hair in about 7 years.
Right, those are dreadlocks. Very popular among like Rastafarians.
Sure. Or like young hippie kids.
Yeah, hippies, right?
Yeah.
Very good. So what about in your countries? What different hairstyles are popular there? I know that Japanese hairstyles are really cool.
Yeah, that's right. Japanese haircuts can be pretty awesome.
Have you ever gone for a simple haircut and ended up with a story you'll never forget? What's the strangest experience you've had at a barber shop or salon? Now, listen carefully to what happened to me. I still remember that Saturday morning when I decided to get a haircut. It had been more than 2 months since my last visit to the barber shop. My hair was getting too long, and honestly, it looked messy. Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw curly strands falling over my forehead and my sideburns growing uneven. I told myself, okay, today is the day. I'll just go in, get a trim, nothing too fancy, and come home. That was the plan. Simple, right? Well, I was wrong. That day turned into an experience I'll never forget. It was a sunny morning. I woke up around 9, made myself some coffee, and checked my emails. Then I stood in front of the mirror and laughed. My hair was out of control, too fluffy, too big. My friend Sarah had told me a few days earlier, "You should let it grow out, maybe get an afro. It would look cool." But I didn't want an afro. I just wanted to look clean and simple. I grabbed my keys and stepped outside. The streets were busy, people carrying shopping bags, kids riding bicycles. I walked 2 blocks to a small barber shop I had seen many times but never visited. The sign outside said, "Magic Hands Barber Shop. Look like $1 million." I smiled when I read that. Look like $1 million. Not bad, but all I need is a trim. When I walked in, a bell rang above the door. The smell of shampoo and hairspray filled the air. There were mirrors on every wall, shiny chairs, and the soft sound of scissors snipping in the background. A man with spiky hair and a bright red shirt looked at me and grinned. "Hey there! Don't just stand there. Come and take a seat," he said loudly. His energy was like a rocket. I sat down in the big black chair, feeling a little nervous. Hi, I just want to trim. Nothing too fancy. The barber clapped his hands together. Oh my gosh, your hair is amazing! So silky, so shiny. I am going to work my magic on your hair. You hear me? You are going to look like $1,000,000. I laughed nervously. Thanks, but please, just a little off the top and make sure my sideburns are even? Don't you worry, he said, spinning the chair so fast I almost got dizzy. When I finish, you won't even recognize yourself. You'll be my masterpiece. Masterpiece? That word made me nervous. I looked at myself in the mirror, trying to smile. Okay, but really, just a trim, I said again. He started running his fingers through my hair like an artist touching a canvas. So soft, so fluffy. You know what? You should totally let it grow out. An afro would look amazing on you. I laughed awkwardly. No thanks. I just want short and simple. But he wasn't listening. He was already grabbing his scissors, moving fast, humming a tune. Snip, snip, snip. Hair fell to the floor in soft curls. At first I thought, okay, this isn't bad. But then he tilted my head and started cutting more. A lot more. I opened my mouth to say something, but he stopped me with a smile. Relax, you're going to love this. Trust me. I wasn't so sure. My heart started beating a little faster as I saw more and more hair disappearing. So you're just trimming, right? I asked carefully, forcing a smile. The barber laughed loudly, like I had told a joke. Of course, just a trim. Then he leaned close to the mirror, his eyes shining. But I'm giving you style, my friend. Something fresh, something special. Nothing too fancy, don't worry. Nothing fancy, I repeated under my breath. But what he was doing didn't look simple at all. His hands moved fast, too fast. He switched from scissors to an electric razor without warning. The buzzing sound made my stomach twist. Suddenly, he ran the razor along the side of my head. A chunk of hair fell. My eyes widened. Whoa, that's a lot! Don't just stand there. Oh, wait, you're sitting, he said with a laugh. Relax. You're going to look like $1,000,000. $1,000,000, he kept saying that. I looked at the floor, and it looked like a small animal had died there. That much hair? I started imagining myself bald. Maybe I should stop him. But then he started talking so fast that I couldn't say a word. You know what your problem is. You don't take risks. Hair is life. Hair is art. He waved his scissors dramatically. Your curls are amazing, fluffy, shiny, silky. People would pay for this texture. And what do you want? A boring trim? He shook his head like I had disappointed him. I just need something simple, I said softly. But he didn't hear me. Or maybe he didn't want to. He was in his own world now, spinning my chair again, snipping from every angle. Then he stopped suddenly, holding a small mirror behind my head. Look at this fade, he said proudly. I looked. My sideburns were completely gone. My hair on the sides was almost shaved, and the top was very short. Not a trim. Not even close. My mouth dried. That's different, I said, trying to sound positive. Inside, I was screaming. Oh, we're just getting started, he said with a big grin. Wait until you see the front. I'm giving you personality. You're going to walk out of here looking like a rock star. A rock star? I didn't want to be a rock star. I wanted to look normal. But it was too late to turn back now. I sat there frozen as he grabbed some strange tool from the counter, a pair of thinning scissors, the kind that chew through hair like teeth. This, he said dramatically, will change everything. And in that moment I realized my simple Saturday haircut had turned into a wild adventure I wasn't ready for. The thinning scissors made a sharp, chewing sound as they sliced through the last bit of my hair. Tiny pieces fell all over my shoulders like black snow. The barber stepped back dramatically, holding his chin like an artist admiring a painting. "Perfect," he whispered to himself. Then he spun my chair around so I faced the big mirror. I froze. For a moment, my brain couldn't process what I was seeing. Gone was my fluffy, curly hair. Gone were my sideburns. What stared back at me was... I don't even know what to call it. The sides were almost shaved, the top was short and flat, and there was some strange little spike in the middle, like a mini mohawk. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. The barber clapped his hands together, grinning from ear to ear. "Look at you. You look like $1,000,000. I forced a smile. It's very different." "Different? It's amazing! This is not just a haircut, my friend. This is a lifestyle. This is confidence. Women will turn their heads when you walk by." He winked at me through the mirror. "Yeah, sure," I mumbled, my eyes glued to my reflection. Inside, my heart was sinking. I had asked for a trim, just a little off the top. And now I looked like someone auditioning for a punk rock band in the 80s. Before I could protest, he whipped off the cape and brushed the hair from my neck. "All done," he announced proudly. "What do you think?" What did I think? I thought about hiding under a hat for the next 3 weeks, but I didn't want to hurt his feelings. He looked so proud, like a chef showing his best dish. I said, "It's bold." He laughed loudly. "Bold! I like that. That's the word. You're bold now." I paid, trying not to look at the total because, honestly, paying for this disaster felt like a crime. Then I stepped outside into the bright afternoon sun. The light hit my head in a way I had never experienced before, because there wasn't much hair left to block it. I pulled out my phone and turned on the camera. The reflection didn't lie. My haircut was not just short, it was extreme. As I stared at my screen in horror, I heard a voice behind me. "Whoa, nice cut, man." I turned to see 2 teenagers grinning at me. "That's sick," one of them said with a thumbs up. Sick? Was that good or bad? I had no idea anymore. I started walking fast, hoping no one else would notice me. But the truth was, everyone was noticing. Heads turned as I passed. Some people smiled, some whispered. My stomach tightened. What had I done? And then, as I reached the corner, I saw something that made my blood run cold. A reflection in a shop window. Not just of me, but of the barber, standing across the street. I stopped in my tracks and stared at the reflection in the shop window. It was him, the barber in the bright red shirt, standing across the street. He wasn't smiling now. He wasn't waving. He was just watching me. I turned my head quickly, pretending to look at my phone, but my eyes darted sideways. He didn't move. He just stood there, hands in his pockets, his spiky hair shining in the sunlight like a crown. My stomach tightened. Why was he following me? I started walking again, faster this time. My mind tried to calm me down. Maybe he's just going to lunch. Maybe this is his break. Yeah, sure, lunch. Across the street, staring at me like a hunter watching prey. I reached the corner and crossed the road. I didn't look back until I was halfway down the next block. Then I glanced over my shoulder, and my heart skipped a beat. He was still there, still walking slowly, the same easy smile on his face now, like nothing was wrong. I slipped into a coffee shop and hid at the back, pretending to look at the menu. My phone buzzed with a message from Sarah. "Hey, did you get your haircut? Send me a pic." I almost laughed. If she saw this haircut, she'd scream. But before I could reply, I looked out the window. He was standing there, right outside the coffee shop, smiling. I turned away quickly, my pulse racing. "This is crazy," I whispered to myself. "He's just proud of his work. That's all. Nothing weird about that." But then I remembered something. Right before I left the shop, he said, "You're bold now." The way he said it didn't sound like a compliment. It sounded like a warning. I decided to stay in the coffee shop for a while, hoping he would leave. I ordered a cappuccino and sat near the window, watching the street. After 10 minutes, he was gone. Relief washed over me like warm water. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe it was all in my head. I finished my coffee, grabbed my phone, and stepped outside. The street was quiet. I started walking home, feeling silly for being so nervous. Then I turned the last corner toward my apartment and froze. The red-shirted barber was leaning against the wall right next to my building. His arms were crossed, his smile wide, his eyes locked on me. My steps slowed as soon as I saw him. The barber stood there like he owned the sidewalk, his red shirt glowing under the afternoon sun. That same smile was on his face, but now it looked different, wider, sharper, almost hungry. I swallowed hard and forced a laugh. "Hey, you followed me?" My voice came out shaky, like a bad actor in a cheap movie. He pushed himself off the wall and walked toward me slowly. "Followed you?" he repeated, tilting his head. No, my friend. I just wanted to make sure everything was perfect." "Perfect?" I asked, taking a small step back. "Yes," he said, his voice smooth and calm. "A haircut like this, it's not just a style. It's a statement. It changes your life." I blinked, trying to smile, trying to act normal, even as my heart pounded against my ribs. "Well, thank you. You did a great job, really, but I should go inside now." He chuckled low and soft, like a secret. "Inside? Of course. Home is important. But tell me," he took another step forward, and I could smell his strong cologne mixed with the faint scent of hairspray. "Do you feel different yet?" "What do you mean?" I asked, my voice barely more than a whisper. He grinned wider. "You will." That was enough for me. I nodded quickly, forced a smile, and hurried to the front door of my building. My hands were shaking so much I dropped my keys the first time I tried to unlock it. When I finally got the door open, I slipped inside and turned the lock fast. My heart thumped in my ears as I peered through the glass panel. He was still out there, still smiling, but now he raised his hand slowly and pointed at me. Just pointed. Then he turned and walked away, calm, steady, like he had all the time in the world. I pressed my back against the door, trying to breathe. "What is wrong with him?" I whispered to myself. I ran up the stairs to my apartment and locked every bolt on the door. Once inside, I tried to calm down. "Maybe I'm overreacting," I said aloud. "He's just a weird guy who loves his job too much." But when I looked at my reflection in the hallway mirror, a shiver ran through me. The haircut looked even stranger in my dim apartment light. Sharp, uneven, almost aggressive. And then, as I stared at myself, my phone buzzed. A new message from an unknown number. I opened it. It was a photo of me, standing outside the coffee shop earlier. My blood ran cold. Then another message popped up. "Don't just stand there." I stared at the screen, my fingers trembling. "Don't just stand there." The exact phrase he used when I walked into his barber shop. My throat went dry. Before I could react, another message appeared. "Come take a seat." I dropped the phone like it was burning my hands. My eyes shot toward the locked door. Every bolt was in place, every chain secure. But suddenly, those locks didn't feel strong enough. I picked up my phone again and typed fast. "Who is this?" I hit send, my hands shaking so hard I almost dropped the device again. No reply came, just silence. The little typing dots never appeared. I waited, my breath shallow, my ears straining for any sound outside the door. Finally, after what felt like hours, my phone buzzed again. One image. My stomach turned when I opened it. It was my apartment door, right now. Someone had taken the photo from the hallway. My heart exploded in my chest. I ran to the pee-hole and looked out. The hallway was empty, completely empty. My shaking hands grabbed the phone again. Another message appeared. Look like $1,000,000. I backed away from the door slowly, every step heavy like I was walking through water. My mind was racing. What does he want? Why me? I thought about calling the police, but what would I say? Hi, a barber gave me a weird haircut and now he's sending me creepy texts? They'd laugh. Suddenly, the lights in my apartment flickered. Once. Twice. Then went out completely. Darkness swallowed the room. My breath hitched in my throat. I stood frozen, listening for any sound. Then, from the hallway, a sound. A slow, deliberate knock. 3 times. Boom. 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 My phone buzzed again. I didn't want to look, but I did. The message was short. Time for the masterpiece. I stumbled backward, my heart beating like a drum. The glow of my phone was the only light in the room, and in that dim light, I saw something that made my blood run cold. Shadows, moving under the door. He was out there, waiting. And then, the doorknob started to turn. The sound of the doorknob twisting froze me in place. It turned slowly, left and right, testing the lock. My breath came in sharp bursts, and my heartbeat pounded in my ears like a drumline. Every instinct screamed, hide, run, do something. I stumbled backward into the living room, bumping into a chair and knocking it over. The crash echoed through the dark apartment. Then, silence. The doorknob stopped moving. For a moment, hope flickered inside me. Maybe he gave up. Maybe he left. Then came the knock again. Slow, heavy, 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. My phone buzzed. I didn't want to look, but my hands acted on their own. The message glowed on the screen. Unlock it. Let me finish what I started. I nearly dropped the phone. My mind was screaming, call the police, but before I could, another sound filled the hallway. A metallic scrape. He was picking the lock. Pure panic took over. I ran to the kitchen, grabbed the first thing I saw, a heavy frying pan, and held it tight, my knuckles white. The lock rattled louder, and then, with a sharp click, it gave way. The door creaked open. The barber stepped inside slowly, like he had all the time in the world. His red shirt glowed faintly in the dim light from my phone. His face was calm, almost gentle. But his eyes were cold. "Why are you doing this?" I shouted, my voice breaking. He smiled, tilting his head like a curious child. "Because you're not finished yet." "I'm calling the police," I yelled, raising the pan like a weapon. He laughed softly, a sound that crawled under my skin. "You don't understand," he said, stepping closer. "A haircut isn't just about hair. It's about who you are. And you're still a mess inside. I need to fix that." He reached into his bag and pulled out a pair of scissors, long, silver, shining in the glow of my phone like a knife. "Stay back," I shouted, my hands shaking so hard the pan almost slipped. He kept coming, slow and calm, the scissors glinting with every step. "Don't be afraid," he whispered. "When I'm done, you'll look like a masterpiece." The last thing I remember is lunging forward, swinging the pan with every ounce of strength in my body. A loud crash. A scream. Mine or his, I don't know. Then, darkness. When I opened my eyes, I was sitting in the same barber chair as before. My reflection stared back at me in the mirror. My hair was perfect. Too perfect. Slick, sharp, shining like glass. And behind me, smiling in the mirror, stood the barber. "Now," he said softly, his voice smooth as silk, "you really do look like $1,000,000."
Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Do something. An action is required.
Don't just stand there.
Choose a place to sit.
Take a seat.
A short cut of hair to make one look clean.
Trim.
Very fashionable.
Fancy.
Resembling silk. Very smooth.
Silky.
Having a smooth and bright appearance.
Shiny.
Very good. To look great.
$1,000,000.
Hair that grows on the sides of a man.
Sideburns.
Hair in form of round shape.
Curly.
Soft.
Fluffy.
Grow long.
Grow out.
A kind of hairstyle which very curly hair is formed into a round ball.
Afro.
A type of hairstyle where the hair is cut very short with an electric razor.
Buzz cut.
A hairstyle which consists of shaving both sides of the head, leaving a strip of noticeably longer hair on top.
Mohawk.
A type of hairstyle where the hair on top is left a bit long and styled upwards, resulting in square-looking haircut.
Flat top.
Hairstyle in which most or all of the hair on the head is pulled away from the face, gathered and secured at the back of the head with a hair tie or clip, and allowed to hang freely from that point.
Ponytail.
Formed by intertwining 3 or more strands of hair so that the result is similar to a woven textile.
Braid.
Let's try that faster. A short cut of hair to make one look clean.
Trim.
A type of hairstyle where the hair on top is left a bit long and styled upwards, resulting in square-looking haircut.
Flat top.
Hair that grows on the sides of a man.
Sideburns.
A kind of hairstyle which very curly hair is formed into a round ball.
Afro.
Hair in form of round shape.
Curly.
Very fashionable.
Fancy.
Grow long.
Grow out.
Having a smooth and bright appearance.
Shiny.
A type of hairstyle where the hair is cut very short with an electric razor.
Buzz cut.
Resembling silk, very smooth.
Silky.
Hairstyle in which most or all of the hair on the head is pulled away from the face, gathered and secured at the back of the head with a hair tie or clip, and allowed to hang freely from that point.
Ponytail.
Very good. To look great.
$1,000,000.
Formed by intertwining 3 or more strands of hair so that the result is similar to a woven textile.
Braid.
Soft.
Fluffy.
A hairstyle which consists of shaving both sides of the head, leaving a strip of noticeably longer hair on top.
Mohawk.
Choose a place to sit.
Take a seat.
Do something. An action is required.
Don't just stand there.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Don't just stand there.
Don't just stand there. Help me take these boxes into the house.
Don't just stand there.
The house is on fire. Don't just stand there. Call the fire department.
Don't just stand there.
Don't just stand there in the rain. Come inside.
Fancy.
He was practicing some very fancy tricks on his bike.
Fancy.
When I dance, I don't like to try any fancy moves.
Fancy.
That was some very fancy driving. How did you do it?
Shiny.
Wow, I really like your shiny new shoes. They look great.
Shiny.
Your engagement ring is beautiful. The diamond is so shiny.
Shiny.
I like the paint color of your new car. It's so shiny.
$1,000,000.
That dress is amazing. You look like $1,000,000.
$1,000,000.
I really like how you painted your house. It really looks like $1,000,000.
$1,000,000.
After getting nose surgery, he really looks like $1,000,000.
Fluffy.
I love the fluffy white fur on my rabbit. It's so cute.
Fluffy.
I need to have a fluffy pillow to sleep at night.
Fluffy.
Susan has really nice hair. Her curls are fluffy and beautiful.
Going to the hair salon or barbershop is something almost everyone does. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, young or old. Sooner or later, you'll need a haircut. That's why it's a great idea to learn how to talk about haircuts in English. Whether you want to explain what kind of style you need, ask for something simple, or describe your hair, knowing the right words and phrases makes the whole experience easier and more fun. When you walk into a barbershop or hair salon, the first thing you might hear is something friendly, like take a seat or come on in. You sit down and the barber or stylist asks what you want to do with your hair. This is your chance to describe your haircut clearly. One of the most common requests is, I just want a trim. A trim means cutting only a small amount of hair to make it look neat and clean. You're not changing the style, you're just making it tidy. You might also say, nothing too fancy. The word fancy in this case means something complicated, stylish, or very different. So, when you say you don't want anything fancy, you mean you want something simple and normal. This is a good phrase when you don't want any big changes to your hair. If you have curly or long hair, the barber might say something about your sideburns. Sideburns are the strips of hair on the sides of your face, just in front of your ears. Some people like them short and clean, while others like them longer. You can say, "Can you make sure my sideburns are even?" That means you want both sides to look the same. Hairstylists often use words to describe hair texture. For example, if your hair feels soft and smooth, they might say it's silky. If your hair reflects light and looks bright, they might call it shiny. You can learn to say these words too when you describe your own hair. "My hair is very silky," or "I like when my hair looks shiny after a haircut." Sometimes people want to grow out their hair. This means they want their hair to get longer. If someone says, "You should let your hair grow out," they're suggesting that you stop cutting it short so it can grow longer and maybe form a different style. Growing out your hair takes time and patience, but many people do it when they want a new look. There's also a special style called an afro. This is a big, round, fluffy hairstyle made from naturally curly hair. It was very popular in the 1970s and is still a strong cultural and fashion symbol for many people today. If someone has thick, curly hair and lets it grow out, they might get an afro. You could hear someone say, "You would look great with an afro," as a way of giving compliment. When you visit the salon or barbershop, sometimes the stylist gets creative or excited about your hair. They may say fun things like, "You're going to look like $1,000,000. That's a funny and friendly way to say, "You're going to look amazing." In English, it's common to say that something or someone looks like $1,000,000 when they look really great or expensive. These small phrases and simple words help you feel more comfortable at the hair salon or barbershop. They make it easier to explain what you want and understand what the barber or stylist is saying. So the next time you go for a haircut, try using some of these words. It might make your visit more enjoyable, and you'll leave looking fresh, confident, and ready to use your English in real life. A visit to the barbershop or hair salon is not only about getting your hair cut. It's also about the experience, how you feel, how you communicate, and how confident you are explaining what you want. If you're learning English, this is a perfect place to practice real, useful language in a simple way. Knowing how to talk about hairstyles, types of hair, and haircut instructions can help you get exactly the look you want, and enjoy the process too. Let's start with the phrase, "take a little off the top." This is very common and useful when you want just a small haircut. It means you don't want a big change, just a little shorter on the top of your head. You can also say, "take a little off the sides" if you want the hair on the sides trimmed. You might say, "Can you take a little off the top and clean up the sides?" This is a polite, clear way to ask for a simple haircut. Some people don't want to cut their hair at all. They want to let it grow out. To grow out your hair means to stop cutting it and let it get longer. Maybe you had short hair, and now you want it to become shoulder length or even longer. You can say, "I'm growing out my hair," or "I'm trying to let it grow out for a new style." When talking about hairstyles, people often describe the shape, length, and texture of the hair. For example, someone might say they want their hair to be fluffy, which means light, soft, and full. Fluffy hair looks big and often feels soft to touch. Some curly hairstyles are very fluffy. You can say, "My hair is so fluffy after I wash it," or "I want to keep it fluffy, not flat." Now, let's talk about hair types and popular styles. If your hair is naturally curly and you don't cut it too short, it might grow into an afro. An afro is a round, full hairstyle with lots of curls. This style became famous in the 1970s and is still popular today. It's a bold and proud look that works well for people with very curly or coiled hair. Someone might say, "I'm letting my hair grow into an afro," or "She looks amazing with that afro." Another useful phrase is "work your magic." This is something fun you might say to a stylist when you trust them. It means, "Do your best," or "Use your skills to make me look great." For example, I don't know what style I want. Just work your magic. It shows that you're open to suggestions and confident in their ability. Hairdressers and barbers often like to give compliments. They might say your hair is silky, shiny, or soft. These are nice ways to describe healthy, clean hair. Silky means smooth like silk. Shiny means it reflects light. Soft means it feels gentle to touch. You can use these words too. For example, my hair feels so silky after using conditioner, or I love when my hair looks shiny in the sunlight. When you ask for a haircut, it's also a good idea to say what you don't want. For example, please don't cut too much, or I want to keep the length. This helps avoid surprises. If you want to change your style completely, you might say, I'm ready for something new, or I want a fresh look. Going to the salon or barbershop is not just about changing your hair. It's also a great way to practice English in a real, practical way. You learn how to give clear instructions, how to describe things, and how to be polite and friendly. These skills are useful not only for haircuts, but also for many other situations in life where you need to express your needs with confidence and ease. Hair comes in many shapes, colors, and textures, and the words we use to describe it can help us express our personal style. When you talk about hair in English, you can use different adjectives to explain how it looks or feels. This helps when you're at the barbershop or salon, and also when you're describing people in daily conversations. One useful word is curly. Curly hair has round or spiral shapes. Some people have small, tight curls, while others have big, loose curls. You can say, she has beautiful curly hair, or my hair gets curly when it rains. If your hair is not curly, it might be straight, which means it falls down smoothly without bending. Some people have wavy hair, which is a mix between straight and curly. Another good word is frizzy. Frizzy hair is often dry and hard to control. The strands stand up or stick out, and it can happen more on humid days. You might say, my hair is so frizzy today, or I use special shampoo to reduce frizz. If your hair feels smooth and soft, it can be described as silky or sleek. In English, we often talk about hair length too. You can say your hair is short, medium length, or long. Short hair might be above the ears or close to the head. Medium length hair often touches the shoulders. Long hair goes past the shoulders and can reach the back or even lower. These descriptions help when you're deciding on a haircut. You can say, I want to keep my hair medium length, or I'm thinking about going short this time. There are also fun and creative names for hairstyles. One example is a mohawk. A mohawk is when the sides of the head are shaved and a strip of longer hair is left in the middle. It stands up, often with hair gel. This style is bold and eye-catching. Another one is a buzz cut, which is very short hair cut evenly all over the head. Buzz cuts are easy to care for and popular among athletes and soldiers. Then there's the flat top, where the hair on top of the head is cut flat and straight, like a box. It was especially popular in the 1980s and 90s. You might also hear about a crew cut, which is very short on the sides and just a little longer on top. It's a classic men's haircut. If someone has long hair, they might wear it in a ponytail. A ponytail is when the hair is pulled back and tied with a band so it hangs down in one piece. Another common style is a braid, where the hair is divided into parts and woven together. Braids can be simple or very detailed, depending on the look you want. Different cultures and groups of people also have their own favorite hairstyles. For example, dreadlocks, often called locks, are long ropes of matted or twisted hair. They have deep cultural meaning in some communities, especially among people with African heritage. If you want to describe dreadlocks in English, you can say, he wears long dreadlocks, or her dreadlocks are very neat and beautiful. Hair is not just about fashion. It's also about identity, personality, and expression. That's why it's important to know how to describe it in a way that feels true to who you are. Whether your hair is curly, straight, long, short, wild, or simple, there are words in English that help you describe it clearly and confidently. Being able to talk about your hair helps you connect with others, give instructions, and feel more comfortable in social and personal situations. When you go to a barbershop or salon, the words and phrases you use can make a big difference in what kind of haircut you get. That's why it's important to know some helpful expressions that people often use in English while getting their hair done. These phrases are simple, but they help you explain exactly what you want, and they help you understand what the stylist or barber is saying, too. Let's start with one common request. Just clean it up. This is something people say when they don't want a big change. Maybe the hair is growing out and it looks a little messy. You don't want a new style. You just want to make it look fresh and neat again. You can say, "Can you just clean it up a bit?" Or, "I'm happy with the style, just clean it up." Another useful phrase is even it out. You use this when one part of your hair is longer than the other and you want both sides to match. For example, "My sideburns are uneven. Can you even them out?" Or, "Please even out the back." This helps you tell the barber to fix the small differences so your hair looks balanced. You can also talk about the shape of your haircut. For example, you can ask for a fade, which is when the hair gradually goes from short on the sides to longer on top. You can say, "I'd like a low fade," or "Can you do a skin fade?" This kind of cut is popular for men and boys and gives a clean, modern look. If you have long hair, you might say, "Just take off the split ends." Split ends are when the bottom of the hair starts to break or separate. They make the hair look dry or messy. A stylist can trim just the ends without changing the length too much. You can also say, "Keep the length but take off the damaged ends." Sometimes, people want a completely new look. In that case, they might say, "I want a big change," or "I'm ready for something different." If you hear this from someone, they're probably ready to try a new style, maybe shorter hair or a different shape. If you want advice from the stylist, you can say, "What do you think would look good on me?" Or, "Do you have any suggestions?" Barbers and stylists also like to use fun and friendly expressions. One common phrase is, "You're going to look sharp," which means you'll look neat and stylish. Another is fresh cut, which people use to talk about a new haircut that looks clean and perfect. For example, "Nice fresh cut," or "That's a sharp look." Some people go to the barber not only for haircuts, but also for shaves, beard trims, or even eyebrow shaping. You can say, "I'd like a beard trim," or "Can you shape my eyebrows a little?" These services are often available at both salons and barbershops, and it's good to know how to ask for them. It's also helpful to know how to talk about tools the barber might use. A clipper is an electric tool used for cutting hair very short, usually on the sides or back. A razor is used for shaving. Scissors are used for most cuts, especially if the hair is longer or needs detail. You can say, "Please use scissors on top," or "Can you use the clipper with a number 2 guard on the sides?" Understanding these small but useful phrases gives you more control and confidence during your visit. You won't need to worry about getting the wrong haircut because you'll know how to explain what you want. It also helps you enjoy the process more because you can relax, talk naturally, and trust that you're being understood. Whether you want something small or something bold, having the right words helps make every haircut a better experience. After getting your haircut, it's common to take a moment to check how it looks and give feedback. This is a good time to use polite English to express your thoughts. If you like the result, you can say things like, "It looks great," or "I love it, thank you." These simple, kind words make the barber or stylist feel appreciated. You could also say, "This is exactly what I wanted," or "You did an amazing job." Compliments are always welcome, and using them in English is a good way to build friendly communication skills. But what if the haircut isn't what you expected? It's important to stay polite and calm, even if you're not completely happy. You can use soft, respectful phrases like, "It's a little shorter than I expected," or "Can you fix this part just a bit?" You could also say, "I was hoping to keep a bit more length here," or "Is it possible to adjust the sides?" These types of sentences help you express your opinion without sounding rude. In some situations, the barber may show you the back of your head using a mirror. If everything looks good, you can say, "Looks good from the back, too," or it's perfect, thanks. If not, this is your chance to politely ask for small changes. Don't be afraid to speak up, but do it in a kind, respectful way. Good communication makes things better for both you and the stylist. Another part of the visit is the hair wash, which usually happens before or after the cut. The stylist might ask, "Would you like a wash today?" Or say, "Let me rinse your hair." You can reply, "Yes, please," or "No thanks, I just washed it this morning." If they use shampoo and conditioner and it feels nice, you might say, "That shampoo smells great," or "That was a relaxing wash." At the end of your visit, you usually go to the counter to pay. You can say, "How much is it?" Or "Do you take card or cash?" It's common to leave a tip, especially if you're happy with the service. In many English-speaking countries, tipping is expected. You can say, "Keep the change," or just add a little extra to the total. A small tip shows your appreciation for the stylist's work. You might also want to make a future appointment. You can say, "Can I book my next visit?" Or "Do you have any time next month?" If they use a calendar or booking system, they'll help you pick a time. You could also say, "I'll call to book next time," or "I'll just walk in when I'm free." Knowing these expressions helps you plan ahead and keep your hair looking good. Some salons sell hair products like shampoo, conditioner, or styling gel. If you're interested, you can ask, "What product did you use on my hair?" Or "Do you sell this here?" If you want to learn how to take care of your hair at home, you can ask for advice. "What do you recommend for dry hair?" Or "How can I keep this style looking good?" Every visit to the barbershop or salon is an opportunity to practice speaking English in a friendly, real-world setting. You learn how to give compliments, make requests, explain problems, and even ask for advice. These are all important parts of communication. When you know how to talk about your haircut clearly and politely, you build confidence, not just in your language skills, but in yourself. Hair care doesn't end at the salon or barbershop. Once you leave with your fresh haircut, it's time to take care of your hair at home. Talking about daily routines and grooming habits in English can help you in everyday conversations, especially when you want to share advice, ask questions, or follow instructions in English-speaking environments. Let's start with the basics. Most people wash their hair regularly. You can say, "I wash my hair every other day," or "I use shampoo and conditioner." Shampoo is for cleaning the hair, and conditioner helps make it soft and easy to manage. Some people wash their hair daily, while others prefer just once or twice a week. If you wash too often, your hair might become dry. You can say, "My hair feels dry," or "I think I need a moisturizing shampoo." After washing, you might use a hairdryer or let your hair air dry. If you use a hairdryer, you can say, "I blow dry my hair every morning." You can also use tools like a hair straightener to make your hair flat and smooth, or a curling iron to create curls or waves. These are common in many homes, and you might hear people say, "I curl my hair for the party," or "I need a heat protectant spray before straightening." Styling is another part of the daily routine. People use hair gel, mousse, hairspray, or cream to shape their hair. You might say, "I use gel to keep my hair in place," or "This cream helps with frizz." Everyone's hair is different, so what works for one person may not work for another. In English, it's common to ask, "What do you use for your hair?" Or "How do you keep your curls looking nice?" If you want to change your look, you can also talk about hair coloring. You might say, "I'm thinking about dyeing my hair," or "I want to go a bit lighter." Common phrases include highlights for lighter streaks of color, lowlights for darker ones, and touch-up for fixing roots. People also use words like natural color, blonde, brunette, red, or black hair. You can say, "I've been blonde for years," or "This is my natural hair color." Hair health is also important. In English, you might hear people talk about split ends, dry scalp, or hair loss. These are normal problems, and there are many products to help. You can say, "I have trouble with hair fall," or "Do you know any good products for dry scalp?" Asking questions like these in English can help you get better advice, especially if you're shopping in another country or watching beauty videos in English. When talking about hair with others, it's also polite to give compliments. You can say, "I love your haircut. Your hair looks amazing." Or, "Did you get it done recently?" These small sentences help you start friendly conversations and make people feel good. Complimenting someone's appearance is common in casual English, as long as it's respectful and kind. Taking care of your hair is about more than just how you look. It's about how you feel. When your hair feels good, you feel more confident. And when you can talk about it clearly in English, you feel more confident in your language too. The vocabulary and expressions you've learned can help you in salons, in stores, with friends, or even when watching videos online. Hair is a part of life, and learning to speak about it in English helps you express yourself in simple, natural ways. Whether you're asking for a trim, trying a new style, or just talking about your daily routine, the words you now know give you the power to communicate smoothly and comfortably. Keep practicing, keep exploring, and keep learning one word at a time.